When thinking about our perception of reality through the human experience, we see the universe through our own filter and focus on biases that favour the human race. When discussing the universe as a whole and different perceptions, we must try to remove as much of the said biases as possible to get a broader picture of the universe. If we now look at the universe through the lens of a different species, whether that be on Earth or a potential extraterrestrial being, we can already see the shifts in perspective from an advanced spacefaring extraterrestrial to a dog. A dog's knowledge of its environment is very limited. It is aware of its surroundings and the people and other animals around it, as well as its day-to-day experiences, but this perception lacks the ability to question things to the same extent as a human being can, while an advanced alien's perception and knowledge of their surroundings would be much greater, as they have the ability and greater knowledge to speculate about the reality in which they live. Now taking things back to the human perception of the universe, the knowledge and information that we have acquired over time plays a great part in our perception of reality. For example, before we had the ability to look out into the vastness of space through telescopes, our knowledge of what was out there was much more limited, so therefore it affected our perception. What this tells us is that knowledge plays a huge factor in how we perceive the world around us. The size of the universe is hard for our brains to comprehend. The observable universe having a 46.5 billion light-year radius, and this just being the observable universe is already an insane scale to try to imagine. Now thinking that the universe could possibly be infinite, this has the possibility to flip our perception on its head. When I think about our human perception of reality from planet Earth, I see it this way. During the day, we are lulled into a false sense of perception through the white light of the sun entering the atmosphere that causes the air molecules to scatter. While the scattering of the air molecules increases, the wavelengths of light decrease. This causes blue light to scatter more than red light, and this is why we see the sky as blue during the daytime. Understanding this tells us that the daytime is an illusion brought on by light penetrating the atmosphere, so when we think about it, the only time we see the universe for what it really is at night, but this is still through a filter of looking from a planet. I like to think about the astronauts on the International Space Station when thinking about our perception. To them, they are experiencing a sort of out-of-body experience from the planet and seeing the universe and all its glory as it truly is. There are trillions of planets out there in the observable universe, a lot of them which could potentially have life on them, so when we think about these possible extraterrestrials, could they have similar perceptions of reality in the sense of viewing the universe from a planet or through being on a spaceship? When we are talking about our perception, we must also talk about time. As we know with time, there is the past and the future, but we as humans add the present to make sense of what we are experiencing from second to second. The present is actually a human concept. We know that it takes time for light to reach our eyes and information to reach our brains, so technically living in an exact present is never possible, which is an extremely creepy concept to think about. So in summary, the universe is such a strange and hard to explain place, yet it is everything we have ever known. It is really interesting to discuss how we each as individuals perceive the reality which we live in, but then also taking into account the perceptions of other mammals or sea creatures, and maybe even insects. We all have our own different viewpoints and biases, so all we can do is learn as much as we can about the universe as possible, and try to remove biases to give us more clarity. Thank you for tuning in to today's video. I really appreciate all of the recent support on the channel. So if you enjoy content like this, please consider subscribing to the channel to stay up to date. I've been having so much fun making all of these videos recently, thinking about all different avenues of speculation. I've been having a huge, massive amount of motivation towards making these videos, and I've been staying very consistent, so I've been happy about that. We're almost at 30 subscribers already. I had a very great month throughout August, and I'm expecting a great one throughout September as we're going into it. So thank you all very much. I really appreciate the support, as I said before. Make sure you have a beautiful, wonderful day. Stick around for the podcast soon. As I always say, every video, I've yet to make it, but it should be coming very soon, as I am actually inviting my friend onto the podcast to discuss about alien life and the Fermi paradox. So that should be a very fun one to stay tuned for. And also, if you do have any recommendations for videos on the channel, please let me know and I will consider making them. Because I do like to look into whatever avenues that people like to look into and go, okay, you know, I'll try and learn as much as possible and make a video on it. But anyway, enjoy your day, make sure it's wonderful, peace out, much love, see you later.